Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Facebook Live. It's Monday. If you see the little live button up there, you know that I am live and that you are watching on Facebook. If not, you're watching the recording. Either way, pop in and say hi. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, follow and share so so I can get my name out there. So first of all, my name is Anita Mazzero and I'm the Independent Stamping Up Demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria. So we are finding the week's going very, very fast, and it's hard to believe that we're in the third week. We've already got 2 weeks of this month down, and now we're into the third week. And yeah, I don't know. It's just going too fast for my liking anyway. So I don't know about you guys, but it's that way. So anyway, as I said, pop in and say hi and let me know where you're watching from. I would certainly like to keep a tab of who's watching, and that way it helps me too. If you just even hit the like button, you don't have to do anything further. That's enough for me. So each week I try to bring something new and something exciting. Whether I achieve that, I don't know. But anyway, I have a go. So what I'm going to do today is I'll flip the camera down. We have a bit to tell you about, and then we'll go on and we will make our card today. So just bear with me as I flip the camera. Just one moment. All right. Just making sure everything is straight, because there is nothing worse than it being crooked. Okay, I think I've got it there. Good. Righto. Now, as I said, there is a lot to share with you today. So, first of all, we have... Just reach and get it. Sorry about that. I wasn't prepared. This is our stamp positioning tool. It's got grid paper that can hold in place, really cute little buttons to hold your magnets. You pop that down, lightly press, and it'll pick up your stamp or stamp. You've got some larger buttons up here, or nodules, or whatever you like to call them, and that is where we put... Here's me trying to do it. There we go. Pop that in place. And again, you can do it this way. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool. We've, as demonstrators, we've been waiting for this tool to come out for a long time, and it's now available to anyone who joins. So if you've been sitting on the fence and wondering about whether or not it's worth joining Stamping Up, I think this is a great time. So for $169, you can choose $235 worth of products of your choice, because Stamping Up realise that you've probably got stuff, so you don't need it. But they will automatically add this into your kit. You do not have to add any numbers or anything like that. The paper, if you want the paper, you have to add extra in. Hello, Jacinta. How are you today? Are you on a lunch break? So that's the joining offer. So as I said, I would really love it if you... hello, Glenda. How are you today? If you would be interested in joining my team, just get in contact with me and I will discuss the benefits. And I'm sure the two ladies that are on today, Jacinta and Glenda, will tell you the benefits of being a Stamping Up demonstrator, because it opens up a whole new world for you. Hello, Cherry, how are you? And it also You're home today. Okay, that's good. You got Elliot, have you? So it's a great way to join a community that is a lot of fun. So that Stampin' Up positioner, you don't have to do anything. You just join and it's automatically yours. Great, great offer. Then we have I'll talk about this one a bit later. On Friday at 8 a.m. Australian time, we have our Stampin' Up craft class. I did the last one, which was the Brush with Beauty, and I learnt so much from that one. And so we're now having, you haven't got him today. That's good. You've got a nice day at home. That's good that you're relaxing. But I know you're probably doing your swaps. So the Lovely Blossoms is the one on Friday. Now, it's not too late to order the class. If you are interested in the class, it's $44. The number is 170929. So once you order it, you will get an email with links for you to do the class. The suite, which you will need, it's available for $157.25. For the number for that is 167199. It's a beautiful suite, and that's the suite I'll be using today. So I'm using some of the products from there. So it's worth thinking about this product. Even if you purchase the class, you can watch the class. You don't actually have to do it if you haven't got the products. But it's a great thing. So that's something there. Also, time is running out. We are the 16th today. We've only got 14 days. 12 days, 12 days left for people to redeem their coupons. So if you ordered $90, for each $90 that you put in an order during last month, you received a coupon via email to redeem this month. So you would have received a coupon. So don't forget to use your coupon. So it will run out very soon. Okay, our product of the month, boy, oh good boy, is the Painted Illusions Designer Series paper. I wasn't sure about this. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't sure. But I ordered it because I'd reached the $125 and I thought, well, it's only $9. Glenda says joining up was the best thing she ever did. Fantastic company, fantastic products, and you make the most lovely friends along the way. And that is, you summed it up beautifully, Glenda. I have friends all over Australia through Stampin' Up. There are people in my team who I would never have met if it wasn't for Stampin' Up. So, yes, there's more benefits than downsides, isn't there? So this is the paper. So you receive 3 sheets of each piece of paper. So side 1, side 2. Now, I'm actually quite impressed with this paper. The photographs did nothing, and I thought a page like that, it's not a card making. It's more a scrapbooking page. But side B is the side I like. Then you've got this one, and you've got this one. And just a moment ago, I looked at this and I thought, oh, I could die cut leaves out of this and create that gradient of colour. So, again, I'm already seeing. So that's the second one. And there's another one. That one I could see on a card, and I could definitely see that one. And then the last one is, again, these bold swirls and then a nice subdued background one. So I think it covers for everybody. So if you like bold colours, this will work. And, I think you could cut that into smaller pieces. Just layer that on your card front with a base on a white, and it would look really, really nice. So they're the papers, and they are available until, just let me check, because the dates keep changing on these. I think they're available till the 3rd of next month. Girls, correct me if I'm wrong. So they are available. And I think that because when I first saw this, I saw the scrapbook page. But they have shown a card here where things have been done. But, yeah, and I'm going to use this today because I felt this worked really well for what I wanted to do. Right, now what I've done is I've gone and got my colour wheel. Now, I don't know how many of you have got one of these, but I think they're a must in your kit. So the colour wheel, I looked at the paper. I've got my piece of paper from the from that Painted Illusions, and I've chosen this piece. And I looked at the back of my paper, and it said Misty Moonlight. So then I've taken this, and I wanted to do a monochromatic card. So I've looked at this, and I've realised that Misty Moonlight, it has Night of Navy, whereas I've changed that to Secret Sea, and Highland Heather. And I thought, oh, that would look really nice. So this is what I'm using today in my colour scheme. So I only substituted that because they don't have the in colours on the colour chart. But I've just shut Night of Navy and Secret Sea are very similar in colours. So I've done that. So again, this is a way that you can have a look. If I had Blueberry Bushel, it would have brought in a bit more of the purples. So depending on what you're using, you can use this. You've then got the triadic colours, which if I had there, I could have picked up, say, Flirty Flamingo, green, and you could just keep moving around and picking up different colours. How many of you girls own one of these and use it? Because I do find this very handy to use when I'm deciding on colours. If I've picked two colours and I think, will they go together, this does give me a bit of an idea that, yes, it will work. But in saying that, stamping up colours will all go together. I have found that it doesn't matter what you use, they will go together. But if you want to be a bit more pedantic, this is a great way to look at it. Right. So as I said, I'm going to be using the lovely arrangements today. So I'm using the stamp set for the flowers. I'm going to use the leaves from here. I'm going to use those and the label. And then I'm going to probably use the happy birthday, the small happy birthday. And you'll see why as I go along. Oh, did she? I did not see Emma this morning. Thanks, Cherry. I will go and have a look at her later on because Emma does some beautiful, beautiful work. Always catch her later. I never catch her live. So I've got a piece of white here that I'm going to use. Now, we have photopolymer, so bring out your Pierce mat with photopolymer. I'm going to use Secret Sea, as that was going to be my dark colour. And Secret Sea is a go-to. I don't know what anyone else does. I know Jacinta loves it. It is one of my favourite colours. I think it's sort of, I use it more than black. So I'm going to stamp 2 flowers of the large full open leaf flower. And do you think I can now find what I'm looking for? And that is my, thought I had my chamois here, but it's obviously not where I thought it was. Have you ever found that in your craft room? Then I'm going to stamp 4 of these flowers. How pretty is that? Just on its own. It is so, so pretty. Okay, so I have got Highland Heather, light and dark. I have a colour lifter, and I have light secret seed. So what I'm going to do, and I'll just colour one of each flowers because I did colour them and die cut them previously, simply because to save time, and when I'm on this table it will move chronically. So I'll just very carefully with the light come in and colour, and I'll sort of stop around where the stamens of the flower are. Just coming in very lightly. How many of you have got this set? This lovely blossoms. You use it instead of black. I have to agree, Glenda. It is the go-to colour. I hope when they do the refresh they keep that in, because it is just so handy. Sometimes I find, I don't know about you guys, but I find that the black is too stark. Right. I'm going to colour each of the petals. Just like so. Now we'll show you an alternative that I had done with another piece of paper before. Hello, Rhonda. How are you? What's it like up your way today? If it's warm enough here, I'm sure it's warm at your place. Just colour it in. I like to use the bullet tip when I colour. I find I have better control. The thicker brush stroke end just doesn't work for me. And that could be me, because I might not be proficient in colour when I colour, that's something I might do. So as you can see, I'll bring that a bit closer. So you can see I've left that white around the petals. Then what I've done is I've taken the colour lifter, and now I'm just going to, just from the top here, just push it back down to take a bit of colour from the top of the leaf. Now, if we know when you see flowers in reality, they are never, ever just one colour. You've got it warm but not as hot as it has been. Oh, that's good, Rhonda. It's a beautiful set, isn't it, Cherry? So I'm just going to drag that colour back. So I'm just pulling it to the centre, keeping that there. Just got the colour in there like so. Then I've gone and taken my dark, and then I've gone and done just on the leaves, on the lines that are there. Just to give it some depth. I mean, the concept artists would have put that line in there for a reason, and let's face it, why not use it? So sit that through there like so. And then with the Secret C, you used a lot of it already. I can understand it would oh, you've bought several just in case, Glenda. Smart thinking, 99. Might have to do the same. before they put it on the, like, at least we've got another 12 months of it. So I'm just going to dab where the spots are. Put some colour in the middle. So I'm just dabbing the stamens. So if you look at this one now, you can see how I've just got the stamens there. That's why I want to keep it white, to give it that lift of colour. Now I'll show you our other one, how I did that, because it's a little bit different. So I'm going to come in here, same as we did before. I'm just going to colour it all with the light. Now, you're off to on stage, aren't you, Rhonda? Glenda, are you going to on stage this year? I know Jacinta is. I have appointments, so it sort of stops me from going this year. So that's all right. It'll be fun to catch up with everyone next year. And that's one of the highlights of being a demonstrator, is when we get together and everybody from Australia and New Zealand, and some Americans do come out. They make a holiday of it while they're at it. Come out to Australia and enjoy on stage. Yes, I'm going to have a bit of FOMO, so you guys better keep me up with photos, because just life's taking over. So again, I'm pulling that colour like I did before with the larger flower. Pulling that in. Here where the leaf is flipped, I've sort of gone a little bit more heavier. Again, drag that colour in. You should have good weather, I hope. Bring in that colour all the way in, back to the middle, just to create that shading. Then again with my dark, I'm just going to highlight those lines. Now, if my table didn't wobble so much, I could die cut on it, but just, yeah, and I don't think you want to, you're not going, Glenda? Yes, let's hope it's in Melbourne next year, Cherry. Which it should be, if logically the way they go. And there we go with our other one. So you can see again the stamens are showing there. And if I dig out like, so when it dries, it changes completely. So I've got my pieces here, all cut, ready to go. And it's had time to dry. So when it's had time to dry, it changes the way it looks. And if you're not happy after it's dried, you can go back with your colour lifter and remove a little bit more colour. So if I lift up one so you can see clearly how it's lifted the colour and created that little bit of illusion. I'll pop that one out of the way. Okay, I'm just going to move all this so that I don't lose them. Pop that out of the way. Yes, I am too that it's in Melbourne. It should be, because they don't really go to New Zealand. They don't really go to Western Australia, and I haven't heard of it in Adelaide. So I would say that Melbourne's next on the... And from what I got told last year, that they go where the biggest amount of demonstrators are. So, and Western Australia being so vast, it's probably really hard for that to happen. So I've got my card base here, which is 21 centimetres by 14.9, and I have scored it at 10.5. I have a Secret C base, and I just better check my notes that I've got it correct, 12.8 by 8.4. And I had it just a minute ago. Where did I shove it? Don't you hate that? There it is. I moved it out of the way. My DSP, which is 12.4 by 8, and that's going to go on there. Then I've cut out some Secret C leaves, and I've cut this circle, which is one of the dies. Like the dies in this, got these, this is a background, and that's your circles. And they can both be, I mean, I could just leave that as a background, but I'm going to do something different with it today. So the first thing I need to do, just don't lose me leaves, and I've got some labels there. I'll move them out of the way because we're finished with those. I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to trim one row of the circles off. Oh, and I've got Secret C 10 by 14.4 and a white piece which is 9.8 by 14.1. So let's glue this together first. See, now that that's broken up, you could quite easily use that as a card base, for a card base. Might help if I take that little layer of blue that's dried up on it, and it might work. Okie dokie. It was working earlier, but no. Right. That's got it going. Thank God for wipes. I said I had no trouble with it before, but this weather, it's warm and a little bit humid. I'll pop that. And I'm going to lay that over the top. Leaving a small border of the Secret C. And I like how that's very shaded with different, same colour but shaded in different shades. So I've got some of the cloud cover ribbon here, and I'm going to loop that because that's going to be my background piece. Just going to trim that off. And I'm going to lay that like so. And I'm going to get, we don't have these anymore. I believe you can buy staplers like this at Officeworks or things like that. But I love our Stampin' Up one. So I'm just going to do that only because I find that holds better than trying to put it on with tape. You could put some double-sided tape there, but you're not going to see that mark when I've finished with it. So I'm going to look at this. I think I'll put that on afterwards. So that's going to sit like so, which I might put my dimensionals on. Being dark, I'm going to pop. Now I want a bit of room down the side because I'm going to be poking some things there. So black dimensionals are brilliant for dark cardstock, and we're inclined to forget about that because a lot of our colours we use is the white. I'm just going to take all the backs off. One more to go. And we'll get rid of that. Now what I like to do is just cover the back of the dimensional with a bit of glue, because I want this to be straight. I don't want it to be crooked. And dimensionals, when they stick, they stick. And I don't know about you, but every now and then when I think I'm smart enough to outdo the dimensional, it's crooked. So take that, and I want that nicely in the centre of my... And if it looks right, don't need to move it, I can then press down. And the cloud cover actually looks all right with this. So now what I'm going to do is I've got Jacinta, good old Wink Estella. So I'm going to just put some wink basically where those lines are. Just add a bit of wink before I put them down. Do that with all of them. I've cut extras because we're going to use them on the inside. Hello, Sharon. How are you today? Warm up your way, or have you got more rain? Because, you know, you can send that rain down this way. We just don't seem to get... If it does decide to rain, it's like, yeah, we'll just come over and say, hello, here's a little bit of rain. It's dry before you even can sneeze. But you guys have had a hell of a lot up there. Okay, so we're just putting our Wink Estella on. A no card. I think if you're doing a card, especially if it's a feminine card, a little bit of wink never hurts. It never goes astray. Hello, Kerry. Welcome. Hope you're having a nice day today. Right, so just a bit of Wink Estella. So today, Kerry and Sharon, because you're a little bit late, just letting you know that I'm using the Lovely Blossoms stamp set or bundle, and I've also used the new Painted Illusions DSP. That's the new product of the month. Okay. There we go. Giving it a little bit of colour. Doesn't hurt, does it? Okay, so I'm going to take a large leaf and I'm going to just give it a bit of fold and bend, because flowers are not symmetrical. They bend and shape. So just to give it a bit of an illusion, bit of shape. So I'm just going to get one large dimensional and I'm going to pop that behind there. And so I'm going to place this one, I'm going to have that in the middle there because that's covering. You had 30 mils over 4 days. Oh my goodness. I don't know, you guys are copying. It's not normal for you to have this much rain, or is it part of the monsoon season up your way? Again, I'm going to give some texture and depth to the flower. Just giving it a bit. Pop another dimensional on the back, but this dimensional will be down low, about where the stamens are. And I'm going to have that one just sit to the side, not completely off, but just to the side. I've just got to make sure that I've got room. I'm going to use a sign. I've got to come down a bit. Bring this in here a little bit more. That's a bit better. Then I'm going to get the third one. Create that texture with your flowers. And you've sort of scrunched them up, you know, it makes it look a little bit different. And then I'm going to pop this one. I'll just pop this one like so. Here it is, all pretty. So I'm going to take my leaves and I wanted to use the Secret Sea. So I'm going to have a look where I want them to be placed. And these leaves are so delicate, it's so pretty. Put a couple in there. And then I'm going to make sure I get them the right way. Put one in there. And one up here. No, I think might just change my mind. Keep them all on this side because of what I want to do. I'm just going to sit them there like that. How pretty do you think that is? They predicted anywhere between 30 and 300 mils. My goodness. Now, Cherry and Jacinta will be able to tell me we're probably lucky if we've had 3 mils with the little bit of rain that came through. There wasn't much in it at all. So I'm really happy with the way that looks. So I'm just going to leave that for the moment. But I want to place this. So I'm going to sit this, and it's just going to be showing like so. So like a border. Just giving it a bit more texture. And when you see the cards that I prepared earlier, it'll be, I didn't do this because I had no idea what I was going to do till this morning. I don't know why I do this, but I do. I'm just going to pop that down there and so I'm just bringing it to where you can see the ridges so that you can see, and I just sent my leaves flying. Very good. Good one in there. So I've just popped that in there. So that's sitting there. I was going to use the small, just got to see if this will fit. If not, I can cut it down. That's all right. So what we're going to do with this, take that, and I'm going to take my embossing buddy. Sure, I've got nothing there. Less than a mil. I didn't think we even got to 3. So thanks, Cherry. There was very little in it. I think it hit the ground and it was dry. Okay, so up near the top, I'm going to put this small happy birthday that's in the set. And it is only tiny. Sometimes, I don't know about you, sometimes we just want a very small sentiment. And it's nice to be able to have it. I'm going to take my Wow white embossing powder. Take that. That's got it. I find this works for me instead of using paper. I keep the same colour and each one has a separate box. And that works wonderfully for me. Okay, we're going to heat up our tool. Just take away any stray bits of embossing powder. And we're just going to heat that up. Watch the magic as it goes from a dull to a nice shade of white. There we go. Nice and pretty. Turn that off. cool for a sec. And I want to just put that happy birthday in there. So I'm going to get my trimmer. I'm just going to take some off the bottom of that. And I'm going to have to trim it up the top. Didn't go over far enough, but that's okay because you're not going to see the rounded edge on the other one. Yeah, no, we haven't had... okay, Cherry, just check, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've had a decent amount of rainfall for probably 6 months. We certainly didn't get the winter rains that we normally get, so that doesn't help. Just going to use my tweezers to hold this and just pop that in place. So I'm just going to set that in there. So I just wanted that happy birthday. I probably could have shifted that a little bit more, but that's all right. We'll just see if it can... Oh, how lucky was that? I had the dimensional on the ribbon. And guess what dimensionals do not like is the ribbon. So that allows me to move this. So I might move this a little bit. I still want to see the happy birthday, but just bring that. It's nice, fits the card. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of glue. And I'm just going to pop some glue. And this was something I learnt. Hello, Cheryl, welcome. In the virtual card retreat, we don't have to think necessarily of the one particular, like leaves are green. We can go outside. This is why it's so much fun to learn from the concept artists, what they do. Take that and we'll pop a leaf just in there. These leaves are so delicate because of the fact that it cuts the imprint. Yeah, that's about what I thought when they started harvest and nothing more. Been really disappointing for everybody. And we'll just pop another one in here. So there's the card, the front of the card. Of course, it has to have just some dimensionals. Now, I was thinking, and now I'm looking at it, this is what I was originally thinking, was these, what are they called? Iridescent foil gems, but I'm not sure if they will. Let's have a look. Dive into the collection, see what we've got. I think what I'll do is I'll use these. They're not quite right. So these are the Moody Palette Glossy Dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some Misty Moonlight and just colour. And it's a little bit darker than the cloud cover one. I'm just going to colour them with our blends. And I'll just go back over a second time just to make sure I've got everything. They dry very quickly, so it doesn't hurt. Thank you. Right, now let's pick up our gems. I think think I'm making more of a mess than I'm doing anything else. So I'm going to just pop the gems in and around the flowers. And I don't want you to go there. Get off my fingernail. Put one over here. And I'll put one down here. So there is the outside of the card. Just using the textures of the others without the happy birthday screaming on the page. I just think it makes it. I've allowed the paper to become a focus. And as I said, I've gone, using the colour coach, gone for the monochromatic colours. And who would have thought that the Highland Heather would have gone in there? I wouldn't have thought it, but it did. So now, on the inside, let's layer some flowers. So we don't really need these, so I'll scrunch them a little bit, but just going to put a little bit of glue because I want to layer them around. And it looks like I've got an extra large one. I don't know how I did that. Let's just layer these in place. Just a little bit in between. Pop them down. And then I've got the leaves to pop in as well. So making sure that they don't go over the... And we'll pop some glue on the back of the leaves. Now, I will tell you, ladies, this morning I had no idea what I was going to do. And then my parcel arrived and I saw the paper and I also had this set in there as well. So, why not do it? Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that either, ladies, but as I said, I dug out my start again. I dug out a colour coach and I put the monochromatic, so knowing I had Misty Moonlight, and I put it there. I saw the Highland Heather. I thought I'd use Secret Sea because I didn't like the Misty Moonlight behind this paper. Just didn't do it for me, and that's where I've chosen my colours. So don't forget, use your colour coach because it does help you in picking out colours. Because these here are blue-violet colours, and then I've added a bit of violet. I could have even used Gorgeous Grape to allow that colour to come through. So never think that they don't work. But I was pleasantly surprised when I started playing with this. Okay. Pop this in here. I've got the flowers. And the dark leaves, I think that's what helps the flowers to pop, is just using the dark leaves. Now I know why I've got the extra flower, but I should have got a leaf, but I didn't. But that's okay. I'm going to pop that on the inside. Just like so. So there's our inside. Still plenty of room to write. And this is why I had the extra flower. I couldn't remember why, but, you know, I'll put it down to old age. I'm going to pop that there on its own. Even that on its own, to go through the post office, which should be fine. So there we go. There's our card. So it's actually turned out quite a simple card, but it's very striking. So I said this beautiful paper has lent towards this, for me picking up this design. So when I started off with the pink, and I used some pinks, and I was happy with this one, but not 100% happy. So then I went to my colour coach and said, okay, what colours? And it suggested Flirty Flamingo with Calypso Coral, and that's where this one's come from. So there we go. We've got like different looks with the two different like I didn't do a second one of this one, but certainly with this I've got two different ones, and I might try one with the gorgeous grape, you know, or even fresh freesia would even go all right, like in there, you know, just some different colourings. So to me, as soon as I saw this paper, even though when I originally looked at it, when I saw the product of the month, I have to admit, I thought I'm not going to use those bright cut papers. But the B-sides have done it for me, and it really helps, and it allows the paper to come through, and it gives it that nice effect. So these two are very similar. So I put the wording all across this one, and there I've just got the quiet happy birthday in there. I've allowed the flowers and the card to speak. These have got some gold thread, which is no longer available, which I wish it did. But anyway, so as I said, on the card, I haven't done the envelopes for these, but on this one I've just put a flower. So there we go. It's a quick card. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Gary, Jacinta, Glenda. I appreciate all that. So, yeah, have a go and look at the colours that you've got using your colour wheel, and just allowing your colour wheel, and trust it. Because when I saw the Calypso Coral, I thought there's no way it's going to go with this. But once I put it together, it did. And it's allowing it. There I tried to use the pinks that were very similar to the pink in here, but I like the card still, but I've just felt when I went to something a little bit brighter and a bit different, I liked it. So there they are. So I'm glad that everybody's liking this. I mean, I'm very happy with it, considering I only planned it this morning once my parcel arrived. So have a go and use your colour wheel. Look at your papers. Remember at the back of your papers, it gives you the colours. So you could say, for instance, now we've got Darling Duckling. Well, on here we don't have a Darling Duckling. So it's sort of a mixture, say, Daffodil Delight. So there you've got like your Lemon Lolly. You could even go this way. You could have your Daffodil Delight crushed curry and some pecan pie, because you're going into that yellow-orange effect. You could even go pumpkin pie. So have a look. You know, you've got Flirty Flamingo, which is where I got the Calypso Coral from. Granny Apple Green. So I'm looking for the monochromatic. Look at the shades in there. You've got Granny Apple, Old Olive, Mossy Meadow and Soft Seafoam. Or you could even go for some Garden Green. So trust your colour wheel and have a look at some colours, you know, and then you've got your opposites. You've got complementary. You've got lots of ideas on there. So we are done for today. Quick, simple, easy cards. And I'm certainly very happy with the way they've turned out, because I allowed that to go. And this is a fun set. If you haven't got it, I think you should definitely get it. I sat on the fence for a little while with this one, but now that I've got it, I'm in love with it. It is beautiful. So anyway, that's our cards for today, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. My goodness, I think it'll be our last Monday for the month. So, you'll have to watch replay. Okay, no trouble at all. All right then, ladies, thank you very much for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.